All right, Richie, welcome back. Today, it's almost like we have our regular contributor, almost our third co-host. Welcome back to the show, Ricardo Lasa from Kliken. How are you, Ricardo?
Very good. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be on my fourth or fifth one, I think. So yeah, maybe I should join you guys going forward.
Yeah, we should start a side podcast here. We kind of have our own show, bring on some different guests. But yeah, we're happy to have you back. We bring you back because you always bring something new to our audience. For people that haven't heard some of your previous podcasts, why don't you give us a little background on Kliken and what is Kliken?
Sure. So we are a marketing platform that does both organic product listings and paid search campaigns and shopping campaigns on multiple platforms. So we do regular Google ads, Google Performance Max campaigns on Google Shopping, Facebook ads, and our own Kliken ads on the open web. So basically think about it this way. You have your store is up and running, you're selling. How do you get more customers? That's where we come in. We've been partners with you guys at Lightspeed for a long time. And, we really take that journey forward for stores to really maximize their sales and grow online.
Got it. And so for people that maybe didn't catch this, you guys are integrated into the Ecwid by Lightspeed control panel, right?
Correct.
You're not a separate agency. This is fully integrated, right?
Correct. That's a great point as well. We're not an agency like people would think. We're actually a marketing platform. So it is a self-serve product where you actually go build your campaigns, select how much money you want to spend. And we also help onboard to Google Shopping. So you get your merchant center set up and your product feed set up and everything else. And then in the process, we have a customer service group. So if you have any questions, you can always call us and we help you with the process. And as I mentioned before, we help you run campaigns on Google, Facebook, and the open web. And we do that at scale for thousands of Ecwid customers.
All right. So there's several other podcasts, like we mentioned, so you can go back, everybody, to listen about Facebook, Google, and such. But today we're going to talk about open web ads, or Kliken ads in your case. So Ricardo, what is the open web and what are open web ads?
So it is actually very exciting, kind of like the next available frontier for advertising. So when you think about search advertising on Google, obviously that's a big section of dollars that are actually spent on advertising. But the customers at that point already are looking for your product, right? So let's say you're selling tennis rackets, right? And you broke your racket. And now you say, well, I need to find one. So maybe you just go on Google and search for it. And then with Facebook, it's a little bit different. It's more like, hey, I am a tennis enthusiast. I play a ton of tennis. And you can target campaigns to say, okay, show my products, show my tennis rackets to people on Facebook that are tennis enthusiasts. And that purchase process is very different because it is much more of a demand generation process. Because you will actually play tennis, you're happy with your racket, but suddenly you see this new model that came out and you think like you're like a Rafa Nadal and you go like, oh, I need to buy this racket because I'm going to play awesome. You didn't have that demand. You created the demand. So the gap I was missing is that you were actually able to advertise effectively in Facebook to do that, but basically really nowhere else on the open web. So with open web ads, really what we've done is we've actually built a platform that enables you to target people exactly like Facebook, but basically everywhere else outside of Facebook and Google. So now you think about your usage of time when you're online, you might search a little bit here and there, but likely you're much more on some type of news site or sports site or blog site or falling through into whatever interests you and you're reading at that point. And basically with open web ads, with Kliken ads, what we do is we actually do the exact same we do with Facebook, where you can say, hey, target people that are tennis enthusiasts. And as they surf the web, serve them the ads. So I might be on the Wall Street Journal and suddenly I see the Rafa Nadal racket, or it could be on a blog post about tennis and see it, or a blog post about cats and see it. It's not depending on the actual website, it's depending on the audiences that we have access to. So it's actually a very effective way to be in front of people that are both interested in your products and have like a very high likelihood of purchase and generating demand. Unlike Google, where you actually do it higher up a funnel when they are, look, I love doing whatever. I love mountain biking. Here you go. I see this new product. It's really interesting to me. Or I love skiing. I see this new product. So it is really exciting. And then on top of that, we do retargeting as well. So not only we drive the people into the website, but actually once they start interacting with the website, seeing products, putting them in the shopping cart, we retarget them with the products. So it's both a prospecting and retargeting platform all in one.
So it sounds a little bit almost like a mix of, you get some Facebook-like audience targeting plus some retargeting as well, but it's not necessarily stuck in the Facebook world.
Exactly right. It's Facebook targeting and retargeting across all major web properties, very curated for showing up in friendly sites. It shows in main sites like news sites, blog sites, reputable sites, and we use audiences to put you in front of them. So because it's on the open web, your access to be in front of people is much higher. So what we have seen is your ads are seen at much higher rates than on Facebook or anywhere else, right? Because you don't have to go to Facebook. Like you have to be basically just be on a news site or anywhere else and you get to see the ads.
What do the ads look like? I know you guys connect to the product feed of the store. So is it pictures of the products with prices? Do we need to make videos? What do the ads look like?
What we do is we actually generate smart ads, right? We figure out by person going into the website, like for example, if you saw this racket and I saw this racket, next time you see the ad, do you see the racket that you saw? And I see the racket that I saw. So you've never been to the store. What we do is we show the highest selling items of a store to entice you into clicking through. We provide tags on the ads, so 20% off, clearance, whatever we derive from the feed. We are actually always innovating in the ads serving side of things. So we're doing prices on ads now, doing like different ad formats, not just kind of like 5 ads or 5 products, but like a big rectangle with one big ad and then like one big product and then 3 smaller ones. Always innovating on that. And the AI is always learning on what ads are performing better. As we get signals, we see what drives the clicks, what drives the purchases. But it's multiple ad formats from square to rectangle leaderboards. And we're always, as I mentioned, innovating on that. We're coming up with video ads in this year. We'll generate video ads directly from scratch. Actually, we're embedding some ChatGPT technology into that. So it's going to be really cool how the ad formats are going to be coming. That's a big piece of what we did with Kliken ads. We took everything we learned from doing integrations into Google and Facebook and so forth to build really high quality ads, always improving. It's something we always monitor, always look at the stats and see what's working, what's not working, and then optimize towards that.
Yeah. And the best part for me as a merchant, for somebody listening, is you don't have to create all these different ads. It's all generated from the product feed. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I was going to ask, or maybe clarify, for those that haven't listened to the last podcast, a merchant gets started on Ecwid, they got to set up the ads, they got to deal with the product feed, they want to do stuff with Google, they got to go to Google, they got to set up the ads, they got to set up the product feed, they want to do open web. I do know some of the names, but irrelevant right now. They'd have to go there. So if I remember correctly, you even help them set up the product feed as well, right? To make sure, because there's problems that could even happen there. So this is a one-stop shop. So instead of having to go to different locations to get this, you would come to Kliken. You're going to help them get set up on Facebook. You're going to help them get set up on Google. You're going to help them get set up on the open web. And all they're doing is going to Kliken. So first, is that true? And then what else do they need to know? Is there some certain threshold that they need to be at before that can happen? Or what's that all about?
Yeah, no, you're completely right. So one of the big things we do is we generate the feeds and upload the feeds for all the major platforms, for like Google, Shopping, Facebook, open web automatically. And we do quality assurance, like Jesse was saying. So when we ingest the feeds, we take a look at your products and say, hey, look, if you're selling t-shirts, for example, and you don't have a color, a gender, and so forth, that's required by Google. We actually surface it. So we tell you, hey, you need to fix X, Y, and Z for it to go live. And it goes not only by product, but also by store, right? You need to have return policies and shipping policies and basically everything that you need to have to go live. And we have a built-in system that takes a look at that. And then our support group helps you do that and get approved. And then it's all in one platform, right? So once you do it with one feed, like you do it for basically Google, Facebook, and so forth. The other thing that's really interesting about that side of things is we're running now a model where we're actually seeing what product descriptions and titles are generating more clicks and are getting approved, and running a text mining model against it to where not only we're going to be able to tell you, hey, you're missing X, Y, and Z, but hey, your product descriptions need to be improved by X, Y, and Z. And we're going to improve them directly with ChatGPT. So they will be able to just say, okay, great, accept, and done. So something's coming this year. We're really excited about it. We're calling it Feed GPT. So it's our next big product coming after all this Kliken ads development, but it's really exciting. I think it's going to be a major impact. Now, answer your question about like whether this can be used by a brand new customer or like a brand new store or a store running thousands of products. It can be used by everybody. So it doesn't quite matter. Obviously, when you're a store that just got started, generally see more disapproval problems because your catalog still is probably not as complete as should be, and your store is not as complete as should be, but we help you with the whole process. But yeah, it applies to everybody. And again, we're really excited about the innovations that are going to be coming on the feed side of things this year.
I think we got a little sneak peek to a future podcast there, Ricardo. So I see you trying to get back on. I understand. Okay. I'm kind of getting the open web ads, but who is it best for?
I would say this applies pretty much to any platform, not just OpenWeb Ads, but it's OpenWeb Ads for sure. If you have a store that you're already doing well, you're doing at least 20 orders per month or more, it is a slam dunk, right? Because when you get to that level, it means that you're already doing some marketing, probably some email campaigns, you probably have some word of mouth going on. And at that point, people coming to the platform, you have enough traffic to where like the retargeting takes care of learning fast, the prospecting takes care of learning fast, the optimization goes fast, and it's kind of like a slam dunk. So I think any advertising platform, it's almost like cold start problem, right? If you don't have any orders, you have to get some orders flowing to make sure that everything is working correctly. Your store has a product that basically you're finding, in a sense, product market fit for your store. Once you found that, once you actually have that going, then marketing, Kliken ads is like pouring gas on the fire. At that point, you already have a stable company or a store is working well. Now you're saying, hey, grow myself. So that is probably the best group. But, with a group that starts from zero, right? So let's say you have 0 orders. We see some customers succeed and some customers don't succeed. And that's that their store is trying to find market product fit. And it is always a lot of work to get that done, as you guys well know by doing this podcast. So, but I would say 20 orders or more per month is kind of like the niche group. 100 orders or more per month, the return on advertising spend and the conversions are like up the roof. That's why you get 10x easily on everything. So more volume your store has already, the better off all marketing does, basically.
That's just true across the board. Once you're making money, it's easier to keep going. All right. So Ricardo, it's good for people with 20 orders or more. What do you have for these people that are looking to try it out? What's the promo? What's the deal?
Yeah. So we did a super exciting deal with you guys, with Ecwid, first and foremost. So it was like the first to do this, and it's super exciting. So we're so confident that you're going to be successful with this, that we actually provide if you have 20 orders or more per month, you can jump on the platform for $1 for 15 days. So just $1, we run the learning period. Like, by the way, so that's actually interesting nuance on this whole thing. Campaigns, any type of AI-driven campaigns take time to learn, just the way it is, because you have to serve ads, you have to collect data, you have to optimize towards that, right? We are the first platform where the learning period is on us. So we feel so comfortable that you're going to succeed. Then we run the campaigns for 15 days at $1. While it's learning, it's going, and our average customer sees a conversion around day 13. So basically, it's that learning period when you start getting conversions and so forth. So we provide 15 days of advertising, the equivalent of a $250 budget, basically per month, for $1 for 15 days. So it provides a really easy in to try the platform, to see how it works for your store, and very low risk, if at all. So really exciting. We launched that with you guys about a month ago, I think, and it's going really well. So it's really exciting so far.
Awesome. So you're putting your money where your mouth is. It's $249 off of $250,
Sure.
for a couple of weeks. Now, I'm assuming you're doing this because people are seeing success and they're sticking with it, right? What have you seen so far?
So far, we've seen very high conversion rates for kind of like getting on board, like almost 50%. So really, really good. And pretty significant rebilling rates. What's interesting to us, and we're learning now, is the framing of the conversation around it being the learning period, right? Because you only have 2 weeks. So there's so much magic you can do in 2 weeks, right? I mean, like average conversion is day 13. So it could be that your conversion is day 20. You just want to run one full more billing period. So yeah, we're seeing actually pretty good rebuilds, pretty good success with the platform. Customers very engaging, because obviously this first 2 weeks, it's the first time we're doing this business. So we're also calling the customers quite frequently after the first 3 or 4 days. Hey, is this looking okay? So we're learning a lot also about how people vision their audiences, which is interesting because certain audiences are slam dunks, right? They're easy. Like if you send tennis people, tennis rackets is an easy one. But let's say you're doing cakes. Who's your audience now, right? It could be everybody, it could be everybody with a sweet tooth. It could be foodies. Those are the type of things we're finding right now. But so far, it's been a really mind-blowing success as far as like conversion rates, rebuild rates, everything else so far.
All right. So if people are listening, where do they go to sign up and check this out?
Good news is this: you don't need to worry about coupons or anything like that. If you qualify, when you get to Kliken and you start building a campaign, you'll see a banner at the top that says, hey, you qualify for the $1 promotion. We call it the $1 promotion. And then when you get to checkout, There's 3 packages. There is a package for $1, basically. And you just select that package and you go. All the terms and conditions are on the checkout page, so it's super easy. There's no convoluted couponing or convoluted like rebates or anything like that. It's like, if you qualify, you get it. Question is, what happens if you're like the store that doesn't qualify, right? What if you don't have 20 orders per month? Part of the work we're doing now is we're coming up with a 50% off promotion for everybody else. So if you are not a qualified customer or store, you don't have 20 orders or more per month, what we're going to do is we're going to discount first month 50% off. So that will apply to everybody. Team is working on that right now. Hopefully we'll get it done by end of April or mid-May. And basically we work the same way. When you come to the platform, we know if you qualify or not. If you don't qualify, basically you'll buy the $250 package, let's say for $125. And you're able to just go live at 50% off, run a full billing period where the first 15 days are on us. Same concept, basically. The key to us, I think, is get the learning phase of the campaign out of the way. And then, like, once you get to like the second billing, you've run the campaign now for between 45 days to 60 days, which is enough for the campaign to be performing. We're just trying to make it as effective for customers to be productive at a minimum cost.
Maybe you can crack that cold start problem there. So for people that don't have the sales.
I'm working a lot on that. I have to say, like, my intellectual problem this year is the cold start problem. You start a store, what does it take to be successful, right?
Yep. Now, to clarify, you said you're going to sign up. Where exactly? Inside the Ecwid control panel, just for people so they don't get lost?
Yeah. So when you're going to Ecwid, we're in multiple places that you can find us. But basically, if you click on marketing side of things, you click on Google Shopping, we're there. If you click on Facebook ads, we're there. Once you go in, you'll see Kliken ads and the promotion is there.
All right. Just making sure if anyone has any questions, we told you a couple times, a couple places. So Richie, what do you think here? Was there anything I didn't ask here? Any questions for Ricardo?
No, it's great. Once again, for clarification for people out there, just to make sure Jesse and I covered last podcast, or depending upon when you're hearing this, we gave you some insight on some of the things that you could do when you have more time than money. The beauty of this is you might have more money than time, but the good news is you don't even need a lot of money. It sounds like get started for $1. But what I did want to really let sink in here is, in the worst case scenario, if you do this, you're feeding more insights into Kliken that they can learn more about your business. So as long as you're okay with spending whatever package you pick, it's only going to get better over time. It might not be as good as some, to your point about tennis rackets or cakes. Some things might not be as able to pick up the intel quickly. But, I think about this when I was playing with ChatGPT the other day. It really comes down to how good of information you feed it is how good the information comes out at the other side. In synopsis, you get a chance to go to one place, get your Facebook ads, get your Google ads, get all over the web, where somebody could have a brand new store and look like they're everywhere, right? Because now they got the open web and it's like, wow, this store is everywhere. They must be huge. Causation, correlation, who knows why someone actually ends up making the choice. But once again, always love having you on the show. And like Jesse said, sounds like we got the plug for having you on the next feed. What'd you call it again? Feed GPT?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I am super excited about that product. It's been something we've been working on for a while, and Jesse and I have talked about it many times before. And when the OpenAI technology came out, it was a missing piece. It was like we cut the wall and we just had like a brick that was missing. And now we have a brick. So it's just put it in, and it's going to be a truly spectacular product. We are super excited about it. But Rich, you're totally right on one thing, though. And I think if I was going to say one thing for the people getting started, is this. And a lot of our customers don't realize it, but it's critical. When you go to the gym, you need to go for 3 months. Okay, if you go for a week or 2 weeks, you're not going to see anything, right? Marketing is the same. People think, okay, I'm going to buy a campaign. I'm going to run 30 days and I'll stop. The average life cycle that we see on a store, so from somebody coming to purchasing, is always 20 to 35 days. It is very rare that somebody new comes in and buys instantaneously, right? So the mind frame of somebody starting from scratch should be, hey, I need to give it 3 months. And in 3 months, then you can really say, is there a fit or not a fit? But like in 2 weeks or a month, it's just not enough. And I think that's the biggest mistake that small store owners do when they get started, is not being patient enough. I honestly, Don't say this because, look, our package is $150. Okay, it's not like we're going to be buying Ferraris on this. But the thing is, with 1 month, you're just not giving it enough time. 2 months, maybe. 3 months is the point where you can actually say, all right, for sure, I got this done right. Also, by the way, it will help you a lot on the signals you were talking about, because we drive people to the website at scale. That's undeniable. So if you throw 700 people at the website and there's not one sale, you need to ask yourself, okay, is my product correct? Is my pricing correct? Are my pictures correct? There's two sides to this coin. What we are responsible for doing is driving people of quality to your website. That we're really, really great at. Then the other side is, hey, is your pricing out of whack? Because people are not that dumb either. Like, they go and they see the same racket and it's $10 cheaper some other place. It's going to say, hey, look, I'm going to buy it in this other place. So anyway, I think that feedback loop between our platform and the store is going to be very, very successful and really help people, hopefully with the cold start problem at a very significant level. So I'm excited about it.
Now is a good point there. Like, this is marketing adds the fuel to the fire, but it doesn't necessarily create the fire, right? If your prices are out of whack, your pictures are bad, if everything's bad, you can't just throw money at it and make it work. There is an initial thing that you have to figure out.
Correct. Yeah. And the product itself, what are you selling? When you're selling t-shirts, like there's lots of people trying to sell t-shirts. What is the difference? So we see people actually very incredibly successful on t-shirts, but they pick niches. Like they have this type of fishing t-shirts, this type of X, Y, and Z t-shirts. When it's a very broad black t-shirts, well, there's like a million black t-shirts. So I think niche, work on your product, make sure that you have high quality pictures are so critical. We've been looking at a lot of that. Actually, one thing we're building now is a AI scoring of a picture. Like, is it clear to see? It has the right background. When you go to a website, if the pictures are not good, you're going to just jump off. And we're so used now to seeing high quality pictures that our brains subconsciously, instantaneously go, oh, picture taken with an iPhone versus picture nicely professionally taken, curated, and so forth. We're like very close sister companies to Ecwid, because you guys care profusely about making SMB successful. And so do we. And it's come to the point that the first stage of that journey was, can they use a platform? Can they use a platform that's good enough? And absolutely, you guys have nailed Ecwid. It's absolutely, it works awesomely. It's a beautiful platform, super easy to use. We did the same. Then you go, okay, well, you built a really easy to use advertising platform that obfuscates 99% of the complexity. But the piece that was left was the top of the triangle is your store. So yeah, we can make it super easy to do everything, but the store has to be curated. And that's, I think, the next big step in everything that we're all doing is to tell the customers a little bit, unfortunately, a real check, like, hey, your descriptions are too shallow. They're 3 words, 5 words. You need to have 25 words. And yeah, it takes work, or ChatGPT does it for you. But I think there's going to be so much innovation coming out from that.
Yeah, I see it as well. Super excited about the future there. In the meantime, though, you still need to write a little bit. Everybody still need to start with some pictures. So get that done and then add the fuel to the fire.
We did a text mining analysis on something like 200,000 products, the ones that got clicks versus non-clicks. And the model came out with something like 85 to 90% accuracy from the get-go in a ratio of saying, if your product had this ratio of nouns to adjectives to verbs, blah, 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 you get clicks. And if not, you don't. I mean, it was like a decision tree that we generated, and it was so clear. So unfortunately, that's a little work that we will have to surface to customers and say, your description has to at least have this. And yet, unfortunately, they will have to write the descriptions or have ChatGPT write them for you, one or the other. But somebody will have to write them, that's for sure.
Well, maybe when you get the feed GPT, you can also get some form of a little checklist for everybody, and we can get that in the show notes, and they can have a good idea of what would be a good starting point, even if they hadn't got started with Kliken yet. Also, one last point with Kliken, when you're handling the ads, they're going to have more time to make all that happen. They're going to have more time to work on the pictures. They're going to have more time to work on the descriptions. They're going to have more time to work on the things that they know how to work on, because they're not going to have to deal with the other stuff. So that works out.
All right. So for everybody listening, you know where to go inside the control panel, get in there, sign up for Kliken Ads. If you have over 20 orders, you're going to get the first couple weeks for free, $250, $249 worth of free ads. So you know what to do, everybody. Get out there and make it happen. Bye-bye.